All right, welcome everyone to the 30 something podcast.
What up?
I am your co-host Josh in real life.
What's going on? It's your boy Thompson.
Hey yo, are we missing anybody today?
Nah, man, I think the whole crew's here. Like you're here. I'm here.
I don't know. It seems.
I see
like,
some 2 empty chairs, but
I don't know. It seems a little different, but I don't know. Hey, we gonna keep it going.
We're gonna keep this moving.
All right, man. What's going on, man? So let's talk about some of the things that happened in the past week or so.
Well, just a lot of eventful things is going on. The Drake album Scorpion came out.
Mm-hmm.
Tiana Taylor, she also came out too, but she had some issues with how it was released, talking about how she was mad that she didn't even get a chance to listen to the actual album that Kanye put out.
Wow.
So she felt some kind of way about that, but
wow.
That's something else. But the main story is Drake. After that whole debacle with Pusha T, finally put out Scorpion.
Man, so have you had a chance to listen to it all?
I let it run through one good time from front to back, and I'd say I really feel like this album has been compromised because I don't think the album we got was the album he was working on for months prior to the Pusha T beef.
So when you say compromise, what do you mean by that?
Like almost like maybe half the album, maybe a little less, but a good amount of the album is addressing this Pusha T stuff, whether calling him a deadbeat or addressing his kid out of wedlock and him being in his life and messing with the was she a porn? Is she a porn star?
Oh no, it's like she's like an adult dancer or something. Hey, I ain't go front. Like I watched one of the videos.
Oh yeah, for scientific reasons.
Hey, I had to do my research.
Yeah, we'll just call that research.
It was just research, but yeah, I don't know what she does. It's not quite porn. It is adult entertainment. It's very much adult.
Very much so. I thought I saw a nipple or two. But yeah, like the album is talking about his relationship with her, the relationship with the kid, his feelings of finding out the kid is his, and like all of it is just addressing this Pusha T stuff, and all those months he spent working on the album prior to the beef. I don't know if we really got it on the album or not. I mean, it's a double disc, so maybe we did get all of it, but I just felt like we got a lot of him answering Pusha T when he could have really just done that in like one track and be done with it, but it's just sprinkled throughout the album.
Man, I don't know. It may have been that Pusha T hurt his feelings or something. You know what I'm saying?
He hurt his feelings.
Hey, it's crazy though. Like the one song where he's talking about like how he only met the woman twice.
It's March 14th. It's like the last track of the album. He was talking about going through the indecision and waiting through and finally confirming that the kid is his after the DNA test, and talking about how he met the girl twice, and on the second time he went in and got the kid. So now you have this child from this woman that you do not know at all.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I'm not gonna talk about Drake for making a mistake or whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
Stuff happens. What I will talk about though is that he puts this out in this song. So 18, 19, or 12 years from now,
when the kid gets older,
his kid is gonna hear this song and hear about his mom, and hear about his dad, and he's probably gonna see videos of his mom too. But dang,
that's a whole nother thing. Maybe they'll have those conversations with the kid, so by the time he gets older, he'll understand mom and dad were at a particular point. So
and again, that happens a lot. Like I mean, it happens, that stuff happens, but you don't always hear about it in a song, and that's the thing that's kind of crazy is that. It's one thing to think about it, but it's another thing to confirm it, to have it confirmed.
Yeah. And the funniest thing, I don't know if it's that funny, but all the women Drake has been linked with throughout his career, the Tyra Bankses, the Rihannas, after all that, the one woman that he has a kid with is this person that he only met twice. It's like a player's curse kind of thing, or the ultimate irony. Like you get through all this and this is who you have your child with. This is the person you're going to be linked with for the rest of your life, whether you want to or not.
That's crazy. Getting into the music, I did like the fact that he had Michael Jackson.
That Michael Jackson feature, though.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that feature?
So at first, when I first heard it, I was a little disappointed because they
altered the voice.
They altered the voice a little bit.
They made him sound like The Weeknd or something.
But then in hindsight, The Weeknd was influenced by Michael Jackson.
So in a way, it's Michael Jackson making him sound like The Weeknd, who was in turn influenced by Michael Jackson. Sort of like some MJ Inception kind of situation.
It's dope. It's kind of like Drake wanted to do a song with the Weeknd, but the Weeknd said no. So he said, "All right, I'm gonna go and get the guy that you're trying to be." You know,
hey, don't get it twisted though. Michael Jackson feature is not cheap. Even though the man dead, that estate, you got to pay a pretty penny to get that MJ clearance. So,
but I said initially I didn't like it, but that song, you know, of course it's Michael. I'm gonna listen to it a few times.
Oh yeah,
I like it. I like the song. Okay. I think it's dope that they had him on the album. You know, any time that you can. I think the biggest thing is that it fits. And like at first I was like, oh, they altered the voice, but it sounds like Michael Jackson did a song with Drake for Drake.
And I think it was like an unreleased verse or something. This is something we've never heard before. This is in like the MJ vault that has never been released. So this is like brand new MJ you're getting.
Yeah. So that's dope. That's dope. Right. And what I like even more than that is the song After Dark with Static Major. I'm a big Static Major. For those who don't know, and I don't want to miss anything or leave anything out, but Static Major, he worked with like Timbaland back in the day.
Yeah, he wrote songs for Aaliyah,
Genuine.
He has like some #1 hits under his belt, even before he got with Lil Wayne to do the chorus for Lollipop.
He did the Pretty Ricky on the Hotline song.
The guy's legit, but then he had like a brain tumor and they tried to do surgery on him and it was like a malpractice situation, so he died on the table. So rest in peace.
But it's dope, rest in peace. But it's just dope that he was able to pull him back, because Drake has like sampled Static Major before in the past.
A lot of people have sampled Static Major.
Yeah, so it's just cool. It's just cool to hear him. So hey, hopefully we can hear more Static Major. It's crazy. I know it's crazy for me to want to hear more music from dead artists. Like they're gonna get in the studio and make more. But if there's anything that they can dust off and bring it back,
I'm sure they can.
Yeah, it's hot.
Now, what do you think about Jay-Z's verse? I don't know if you remember. I got a chance to recall it.
I thought it was okay. I thought that song was okay. Well, I don't know. I wasn't.
Yeah, like he touches on Zimmerman still walking the streets, but XXXTentacion's dead, which lets you know that he recorded this track very, very recently. Yeah, like within the past 2 weeks. So there's some late additions to the album.
That's crazy, but. Yeah, I mean, hey, again, it's like a continuation of all the music that's been coming out here as of lately. Yeah. And I definitely would say I think that hip hop is in a good place because we're getting balanced. Like, for as much as we have some of the younger cats coming out with music, we also got the older cats. Like within the last two months, we've got Pusha T, we had Nas, we had Ninth Wonder,
Black Thought, putting up stuff.
Yeah, that one. And I'm like right now, I'm like in hip hop heaven right now with all this stuff coming.
And I think I just saw, like, this is a side note. You know that James Corden does that carpool karaoke where he has like famous people get in cars.
Yep.
Guess who I saw most recently? That's just about to come out.
Who?
It's going to be LeBron James and Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, that's crazy.
And they were doing Today Was a Good Day.
That's crazy. So
that's amazing to see a hip-hop where it's at right now, where something that's super mainstream like that, carpool karaoke, is getting Ice Cube and LeBron James doing Ice Cube cuts driving through L.A.
And that's crazy. Hey,
speaking of which...
We might as well talk about it.
Speaking of which, breaking news.
This ain't breaking now.
No, it's not breaking no more, but your boy LeBron James.
So for those who are listening and maybe joining us, my boy Thompson, well, I ain't gonna say boy, he won't use a boy. My homeboy Thompson is he's from Miami and I'm from Cleveland.
Right, 305.
So so we always have that dynamic going, but I'm gonna speak on behalf of. I can't speak on behalf of all Clevelanders or all folks from Northeast Ohio.
Are you okay?
We are okay.
Because now I'm thinking that's why Khalil and Tone aren't here. They're in mourning right now.
Nah. It's okay. Like we got a championship. Like LeBron came
I mean, first we gotta say what it is. We haven't even said what it is yet. Like what? LeBron James is going to the LA Lakers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by this time, everybody.
Hey, just in case you're getting the news from us first.
Okay.
LeBron James signed a 4-year, $154 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers.
That's dope. So yeah, I don't wear jerseys, but if I did, I would definitely get a LA jersey and a Cavs jersey. You know, I'm always a Cavs
Boy, you could have brought
fan.
one of those like hybrid half and half joints.
You know, I'm thinking about it. I would do that actually.
That's like the worst thing a fan could do. You better pick a side and get with it.
No. in this era of player movement and
so you're more player centric than team centric.
So I would say this. Yes, now like I'm all about like the Cleveland teams like the Cavs, the Indians, the Browns, you know, Ohio State, all that stuff. but you know, like to be honest, those owners that own the teams, most of the time, they're not from those cities. They don't like they weren't born, raised, they grew up in the areas. They're not like a part of that culture, that society. So like I'm not a sports fan to where I'm like I used to be, and not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't live and die by like sports. Like,
and that's something I've come to realize too. Like these sports teams, they're businesses.
Yeah.
They're not talking about. They don't care about your feelings and all that. Your favorite player and all that. Yeah. They run these things like businesses. So you're pledging your undying fandom and allegiance to a team, where to them they just see these players and these fans as just a counter, as a number, as a item on the balance sheet.
Yeah.
So you could do that if you want, but it wouldn't make sense to put your allegiance to something that sees you as just a number.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. So forget that.
So I can understand what you're talking about. You know, more so following the fan than the team.
Yeah, hey, it's crazy. Tone is he's FaceTiming us.
Tone is face. Why don't you put him on? See?
No, Tone,
get him on.
I'm not gonna answer. So with Tone, with Tone, when you hear this podcast, I want you to know that I purposefully ignored your FaceTime. But anyway,
we got beef on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be surprised next episode we're gonna be fighting.
Yo, but anyway, but yeah, we were talking about the whole sports thing. But this is what I will say. I like living in Charlotte from the standpoint of I can watch like the Panthers play. Well, not the Panthers because I ain't really rocking with the NFL. But like I might go to like a Hornets game.
Yeah.
And if they win, cool. If they lose, you know, so what? And I really enjoy like minor league baseball. So like I'll just go to chill. But like I don't have any rooting type of.
So interest. I guess your dependency on sports has wavered since a kid, because before as a kid, like your happiness and sadness lived and died with whether your sports team won or lost, which is a crazy thing to tie your happiness and sadness to.
Crazy.
But there's adults, full-grown people that still leverage their joy and happiness in life on the success of a sports team.
That's crazy. You know, when I stopped like watching the NFL, a couple of years, like maybe 2 years ago, actually, I think I actually stopped stopped watching it. This was like before the whole Kaepernick thing, and then after the Kaepernick thing, I just really wasn't watching it. But I would get up in the morning, I would go to the gym. Well, I would go grocery shopping. I would go to the gym, and like during like that 1 to 3 time slot, the gym was like empty.
Oh yeah, so that's probably like the perfect time to go to the gym. Is that between 1 and 4 on a Sunday afternoon in the fall?
I had access to like all the machines that I wanted. It was cool. You know, it's like I was more productive, and it's like I'm not gonna spend money buying beer, buying drinks, eating fried foods to you know for to put the money into the hands of an owner who don't even care about the city. It's one thing. Now I recognize that a lot of them probably don't care about black people, but I don't even think they just care about like the people like, in general. Yeah, it's like, man, no, forget it.
No, especially with the prices. Like I think I saw somewhere like the average price of a family afford to enjoy just a regular Sunday afternoon at an NFL game is upwards to like $600.
It's crazy.
Between parking, tickets, food, items to buy for the kids and stuff, a $600 cost just to enjoy one game of the NFL. That's outrageous.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Hey, it is.
As opposed to the NBA, I think you spend like maybe $150 or $100 for your family just to go to enjoy a game. So.
Well, hey, I don't have like a family dynamic.
But I'm just saying in general.
If I did, we're gonna be going to some high school games.
I'm joking. Friday Night Lights.
I'm joking. But yeah, you know, we are. Well, this show will probably air like on the 4th of July, or you know, for some of you may be listening to it maybe on the 5th or the 6th, but right after the 4th of July. But hey, Thompson, do you celebrate 4th of July, like, you know.
I mean, it's not like I have a flag outside of my spot and I wake up early in the morning and salute the flag and thank God for our independence. I mean, I appreciate the liberties I have in the country and all that, but it's not like I go out my way to do it. But you know, there's pool parties, barbecues, you know. Having not to work, that's always something to be appreciative of, so you could sit back and reflect on everything you're working on and all that. So I just, when I think of the 4th of July, I think of, like, fond memories growing up, like having parties at my aunt and uncle's house. They would throw like a pool party and barbecue every year at 4th of July and just have the whole family come through. So I always think of that when I think of the 4th of July. But that's just me. Looks like you have some alternate thoughts on the 4th of July. Go ahead and express them.
No, it's, I would say the same thing. It's good to fellowship.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, and I'm working on this. I'm getting out of this. I'm a person that doesn't really celebrate like holidays. However, I'm moving out of it from the standpoint of it's just good to have like a day off work where most people have a day off work. And you can use that time like to see your aunt, see your uncle, see your cousins, see your friends, and just not like worry about like the hustle and bustle.
Exactly, or just do something you've been putting off, something that will benefit you in the long run, like, or just sit back and relax and not rush and worry yourself too often. Sometimes we get caught up in the routine of life and you just forgetting that sometimes the days blur together and you don't realize like. You've been in this circle, this rat race, this spinning wheel for like maybe months on end, Sometimes you just need to step back and take perspective and relax and realize, this life is, short.
It is.
And you got to take time for the important things and realize what's important to you. And that's what I feel these holidays do. They provide a little break in the monotony and the routineness of life so you could maybe step back and realize, okay, what am I doing right now? Is this contributing overall in my quality of life? And if it's not, maybe do some reevaluation or, like you said, fellowship. Surround yourself with people that really mean something to you. And
absolutely. Take
that time to bond with them a little bit more and share a story. So that's a good opportunity to take when these holidays come around, especially with 4th of July. So
that's cool. So. Fellowship, take advantage of your day. I hate that it's on a Wednesday.
That's the worst.
It's like if it was even if it was like on a Tuesday, I may take like a Monday off or like work from home.
But it's like on a Wednesday, you got to take like 2 days off in the beginning and 2 days off in the end, or work out some situation or just work through it. Like it's the worst possible. Wednesday's the worst day for holidays.
So you got any plans? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just hitting up some barbecues and fellowship with the people I know around here in Charlotte.
Gotcha.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down to Atlanta. My baby sis, she had a new son. So I'm an uncle.
Check
again,
out Uncle Josh in the building. Uncle Josh in real life.
Uncle Josh in real life, so I gotta go meet the nephew and hug him and do all that
blessings
uncle
on
stuff.
Top of blessings.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, let's just take a break and we'll come on back with some more topics.
What's up? Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the 30 Something Podcast. It's your boy Thompson along with Josh. The next topic here is kind of a taboo topic in like the male spectrum of things, and it's about sexual harassment. Not so much in the women's side of things, but more so on the men. And what made me bring this up, because I saw this story recently about Terry Crews, the actor Terry Crews. You know about him? He's been in like White Girls and White Chicks and Expendable stuff like that. Well, a couple of years ago, he claims that he was sexually harassed by one of these top level agents in the movie industry, where someone just straight up grabbed his balls and all that.
I believe it.
And like he like pushed it away and like. He wanted to pursue sexual harassment clause and really throw him under the bus, but this guy who's very high in like the Hollywood world,
I believe it.
They were like, "Yo, if you do this, I'm gonna sabotage your career."
I believe it.
And then you come and think about women are put in these predicaments every day, but it's kind of weird that when a guy is put in that situation, how are they approached or how do they maneuver? And then sometimes they get ridiculed for like, "Oh, why didn't you just beat him up? Or why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" Like so.
So I mean, it makes me think, and I don't think about it too long. But how many, how many guys are just kind of going with it? You know what I'm saying? Like how many of those guys in Hollywood who you watch them on the movies or you listen to the music, that just kind of go with it. Hey, listen, and I'm not saying right, wrong. I'm not offering any kind of opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I just imagine how many people just go with it.
That's the thing. I know it's probably commonplace in women for doing stuff like that and how to maneuver, because something when it happens to women, like they feel like they can't really go somewhere or approach it because they might be sabotaging their career, whether it be in the entertainment industry or whether just in the regular corporate world. But then how does a guy go through it? Like, do they suffer through the same issues, or I don't know. Like,
so Thompson, have you ever been sexually harassed? And we're laughing. I know we should laugh, but damn it, don't be so sensitive when you listen to us today. All right.
I mean, there were times where like I've been with women where they've been very aggressive, but then you just I kind of just play it off like, oh, whatever, yeah. But there were times where I was like, yo, they've been very, very aggressive.
Like aggressive sexually?
Yeah, like grabbing and touching and rubbing and all that. So I was like, yo. And then I'm thinking, yo, I really don't feel comfortable right now. But as a guy, I was like, oh, no, I got to stay with this. I got to, because this the conception, it's the stereotype. Oh, I got to like this because she's so rub like it. And I'm not saying she wasn't like ugly or pretty. She was just whatever.
It was just unwanted attention.
I wasn't seeking that. Yeah. And then it puts me in my mind of a woman like, this is what happens when guys are like really on them like that without them wanting that attention. It's like I see where it comes, because it felt like I was like a piece of meat or something. Like,
and were you dressed? How were you dressed?
We laughing, but it's true. Like I wasn't dressed in. I wear regular t-shirt and jeans.
I'm making a bad joke right now because the thing is sometimes when women are sexually harassed, they say, "Well, what was she wearing?" So that was just
like, what's to say they were asking for it.
Yeah. That's dope. But that's crazy. But anyway, go on with your sexual harassment story.
I wouldn't call it that, but it was just a awkward situation to be in. I just trying to find myself trying to exit it because it was something I wasn't exactly seeking for, and it was happening in a place that it really shouldn't have been happening. So it was like, I really don't want to be in this situation right now. But what about you, Josh?
All right. I've definitely probably been in some situations where maybe a coworker or a boss is probably like not acting appropriately. I would say that. Well, I got just one. There was one time that really messed with me. I was being like approached by like a man, right? And like hey, I'm about to just say it out here. Hey, it's the truth, man. People here, right. If you know the people, if you don't, hey, it is what it is. But I was DJing. There was like a club I would DJ. It was straight club, and I don't DJ anything like that. But at the end, like somebody that worked there had asked me for a mixtape. Okay. So like back in the day, I always would have like mixtapes. People would ask
like
me
DJ Clue, Desert Storm #9 mixtape.
I wasn't quite that, but, but it was hot though. It was hot, right. So I would definitely, I used to sell like my mixtapes. Well, anyway, one time this guy who worked at the club that I was spinning in, he asked for a mixtape, so I got it for him. Right. Then he asked me to sign it. And like that's kind of weird because it's like
that problematic, like should be flash or like I ain't nobody to be signing no mixtapes. Yeah, at least not yet anyway. But
well, I'll tell you this: I had a lot of goals and dreams at that time in my life, but to be like a famous DJ wasn't one of them. So that's not to say that my signature wouldn't mean anything. Okay. It just wouldn't mean anything on a mixtape.
A mixtape,
yeah. So that was a little awkward. And then the dude was like, "Yeah, man, because you be spinning, you do a good job. Let me get your signature." So I thought it was weird, But
you went ahead and did it.
I just went ahead and signed it, and then I gave it to him, and then he was like kind of like opening up like the CD case and stuff. He was smiling, and he said something like, "You're cute" and all this and that.
Oh,
I was like, "Whoa,
what's happening right now?"
Whoa, and it was so awkward. I was like, yo, like chill, and he kind of like stood like. He was probably about 15 feet away from me, but it felt like he was like 3
right
feet,
up on it,
yeah. And he was just like smiling, like, you cute, whatever. I'm just, and I kind of like, I can't remember like what else he was saying after that point.
Sounds like you blacked out.
No, I didn't black out. I didn't black out. I was conscious, but it was just like, dang, like it was so awkward, like to be approached, and I would say that was harassment because I told the dude like chill,
but he still kept on.
He still continued to talk. And but let me say this: I don't knock. Let's say like I don't knock a man for approaching another man because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a guy maybe approach a woman. He doesn't know if that woman is interested. He doesn't know.
She might be married. Like,
he don't know. So I'm not the type of person to where. If a guy comes on to me that like, well, I mean, as I get older, I'm more, I can understand a little bit more than I could when I was younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was like, yo, chill, and he kept smiling and he kept like talking, I was like, dang, dude, this is crazy. And I never said anything. Because like, yo, I mean, especially like 10 years ago, we're talking, shoot, this is more than 10 years ago when I think about it. Damn. But like, yeah, what are you gonna say? Like, so and so was trying to. I don't even know like the type of words that you would even use.
Shoot a shot. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just like unwanted advances. I don't know, but yeah, that was crazy.
So we say all that to say. We understand you women a little bit more when they complain about this with this whole Me Too thing where, and some women, they exploit it, but I guess you could understand the whole concept of unwanted attention when you're not seeking it. Yeah. And this is something Terry Crews is going with right now and I think 50 Cent is ridiculing him for like, approaching civil.
Because 50 Cent probably found himself. I'm not saying in this type of sense.
Reckless speculation alert.
Allegedly. I'm just saying that, he may know of things happening. But I'll say this. I can't say that I understand it the way that a woman does. Because I believe, this is my opinion, that men and women are wired differently. Yeah. However, I can't, just like you said, I can't understand the part of getting unwanted attention. It's like, yo, chill. Hey, for me, no means like no. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like even if somebody says yes like 10 times, they gotta say like 12 yeses to every like one no.
All it takes is one no. They can say yes a million times and then one no, that's all that.
I'd be like, yo, but you said no last year, so you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I don't know, I need you to sign a document, I need a voice, a recording, so nah, the whole Me Too thing, I think that's a subject for another day.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to go knee deep into that. I was just saying, like, you can see all that is spawning from people of privilege and power exploiting their power to take advantage of those less than them, whether it be male to female, female to male, male to male, or female to female. It's just people exploiting their power to get something off of people under them, whether they want it or not. So,
which I think happens a lot. It
happens a lot.
Yeah. But hey, for all of our listeners, we appreciate you. Please leave us some comments.
How you guys feel about this topic right now? Do you have a particular situation? Have you ever felt that you were exploited or taken advantage of, or do you guys feel that men should approach it the same way as women when they're getting unwanted advances and how should men approach it? Should they go the Terry Crews route and seek prosecution? Should they handle it on their own? Are there double standards, different standards between how men should handle it as opposed to women should handle it?
And also, like, give us your thoughts on what we're saying. Like for me, I try not to be opinionated. Like I may have an opinion, but I try not to have like a strong opinion.
I mean, you can have a strong opinion. It's a matter of just not shoving it down people's throats. And like, you have to think the way I think, or you're an idiot kind of situation.
See, the thing is, for me, like I try not to make strong opinions unless I'm really confident about it.
Especially with the information you have to back it up.
Yeah, the information I have, because I don't want to say something and then like, you know, like a year later, like I learned something. Yeah, it's like, damn.
And then you're on record, on recorded record, sounding like a damn fool.
Yeah.
Standing up next to something that you know has been proven to be wrong.
Or maybe live long enough to where I have a situation where it's like I have a different understanding of it, you know. So that's for me. I try not to like put my foot in my mouth. You know? But give us your feedback.
And speaking of which, like Josh, I don't know if you know this, because we've been 10 episodes in now.
This is the 10th episode. Congratulations!
Woo! Clap it up.
Yeah.
We've been 10 episodes, and like through those 10 episodes, we've gotten a lot of feedback. At least I know I've gotten a lot of feedback since we've gone through this journey.
Yeah. So what's let's start with the negative.
Oh, okay.
What's some of the negative feedback that you've received?
I guess some of like the biggest negative I've heard is like some people have like greatly disagreed with some of the shit we've said over the past 10 episodes. Like people we want to jump through their damn phones. They be like, "What the hell y'all talking about? Y'all know what is that?" That's the big one. Like they'll be disapproving or not agreeing with some of the things we're talking about. I guess another negative would be, I don't know, like I guess show length. Sometimes they be like really long, sometimes they're really short. But I don't see that as a negative. I think it's just it goes on what we have to talk about during that week and how passionate we are about the subject matter at the time. So I don't think that's really something, you know, negative to really talk about.
It's crazy to try to balance out what like our original plan was, and then to think about how it's evolved and maybe how our plan has changed as far as what we want, and then also accommodating to like our core audience too. So you know,
saying that's a finite thing, because like you don't want to compromise your art just because of the viewership or listeners, because you still have an agenda, you still have a point you want to go get across, and you don't want to alter that just because, you know, a different set of people are listening to it than you thought it was.
Yeah. At the same time, you don't want to be we don't want to be tone deaf either. You know, so it's balancing it. Yeah.
What about you? What's some of the negative things you've done?
Negative. I would just say, and I probably hear this more so is something like, especially early on with some of like the technical side.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and every time I hear that, it's just like getting stabbed because I'm the engineer, I'm the producer, you know. So it's like but I think over the last few weeks things have improved, and you know, so we are ironing out the kinks. You know, when we probably you know, we definitely, like we said before, we got some big things on our horizon, so we're gonna get this off.
How about some of the positive things you've heard?
I think that people have really enjoyed some of our topics. Like,
I think that's our biggest thing. People have resonated heavily with our topics and the discussion we're having with these topics.
I think that the episode when we had Coach G on, he was talking about like relationships and building. Now, that's not to say that everyone agreed, but I think that they like appreciated the conversation.
Absolutely.
And of course, Kenya, the episode that Kenya was on.
Whenever Kenya was on, we got to get her back on more.
And Kenya is,
and not just Kenya, like just more.
Ready.
And not just Kenya, like more female voices, because that's another big. I guess go back to negative. There isn't a strong. There isn't enough female presence on the show, because there'll be some topics we're talking about that could really use a female's perspective.
Absolutely.
So that's something we've got to be cognizant of in the future, you know.
Yeah, and you know something too that I say is, you know, we don't speak on behalf of all black men.
Yes.
You know, and so if we do have a woman out here, whether it's Kenya, who is a friend of our show, or somebody else, and you know, we can't expect them to speak on behalf of all, you know, black women or whatever. But again, to segue a little bit, it's crazy. I was thinking about this, like, you know, if I watch if I watch the news or like read, you know, some of like the blogs and stuff, it's like, and again, I'm not talking about percentages. I'm not talking about what's right or what's wrong. I can only talk about from like my view.
Yes.
But like I think about like all of the brothers who are around me. They all like they all have like some type of education. Mm-hmm. They all have a career.
Yes.
Most of the fellas who I'm around, if they're in a relationship, they're very loyal. Actually, matter of fact, I'll take it back. I say all of them are very loyal.
Listen, you ain't heard? Black men don't cheat. Man. We don't cheat.
And I mean loyalty even more so than not sleeping with another woman. I'm talking about like doing for their, whether it's their spouse or like their girlfriend, like making sure that they're comfortable. Mm-hmm. That so it's crazy too that when I speak on behalf of my opinion, it's really coming from a standpoint to where all of like the people who are, the brothers who I associate with, they have something like going on, and it's not always in the corporate world, but they have some kind of hustle going on.
Absolutely.
They got something going on.
And I think that's something I mentioned in one of the early episodes, like the company you keep drives where you go, and like steel sharpens steel. Absolutely. So if you surround yourself with people who are doing things, you will pick up those good habits, and it will make you a better individual. Absolutely. Whether you see them doing good by their spouse, their wife, their girlfriend, if you see them working hard, working towards something, it will invigorate you. It will make you want to do the same things because you want to do the same things they're doing. Just like if you surround yourself with negative people who aren't doing nothing, you're going to fall into those bad habits too. So it's all about being cognizant of the company you keep.
Absolutely. Hey, I don't keep a lot of company around me, but it's I think it's neat to look around and say like, yo, like, you know, like these brothers are doing something great in you know, in the different parts of life. But I don't know, man. But
I think we're doing good, man. And I appreciate the company I keep on this podcast, man. Y'all make me want to be better and be stronger, make the podcast stronger, makes us stronger, it makes our listeners stronger when we're sharing our stories, our opinions, and then they're able to voice their opinions and maybe take that out into the world and be more confident in some of the opinions they have. Realizing that you have a voice and your voice is important, and you get it out there and you speak your truth and you speak how you feel, and hopefully we give you that confidence to, you know, talk about things that may be taboo, like whether it be race, whether it be like an opinion about sports, whether it be like sexual harassment or the music you like, some of the what's our segment with the music, the
new artist spotlight.
New artist spotlight, you know.
Oh, so I do get good feedback on that.
People love the new artist spotlight.
Yeah. So hey, we appreciate everybody that listen, everybody that has taking this journey with us. Again, it's only gonna get better.
The best is yet to come. I promise you that.
Yeah. So,
and that's the main thing. That's something I need to work on, is just getting the new hosting to get it available on the iTunes and SoundCloud and all that. But
we're gonna get it together.
We're gonna get it there. Trust me.
So man, you ready to call it a show?
I'm ready. I think we had a good damn show.
We did too. Hey, I swear it seemed like we were missing something, but
all right, we're gonna stop playing. Chantone, Khalil, y'all missing. So, where y'all at?
You know, it's all right. We did all right with that.
I know what's happening there. They're in front of their LeBron James shrine, just giving their final atonement to like the time that he had there. They're shedding a few tears. Now they're getting the Lakers brand tattooed on them because now they're Lakers fans now.
Hey, Tone is a Lakers fan. Matter of fact, nah, I ain't even call it. I'll call you back. Hey, I've avoided this call twice, so you know.
Oh, boy, see.
But all right, everybody, be blessed. Thank you for checking us out. Email us, share, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
All that.
Hit us up on Instagram. I think we have a Facebook too, right?
Yeah, we do. I gotta work on that one.
All right, work on it. But you can hit us up directly. My Instagram is Thompson L, TOMPSONL.
Yeah, mine is Josh in Real Life. JOSH, letter N, Real Life. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. Be safe. Be blessed. God bless.
30 Some Podcast.